My daughter was 3 weeks away from her wedding when her fiance called her and said 4 words, "I'm marrying someone else." "Hi honey, it's Auntie Rose, and in my 62 years on this earth, I've seen a lot of heartbreak, but nothing broke me like watching my own daughter go through this. Sit back, pour yourself some tea, because this story still gives me chills. Now, let me back up a little. My daughter, Michelle, is a hard-working nurse, the kind who'd work a 12-hour shift, come home exhausted, and still find time to check on her old mama. She was engaged to a man named David for almost 2 years. Sweet boy, or so we thought. Handsome, polite, always said yes ma'am and no ma'am whenever he came around. They had already booked the venue, already sent out the invitations to family all over the country. Michelle had even picked out her dress, a soft blush pink gown, simple and elegant, just like her. She showed me pictures of it on her phone late one night, so excited, so full of hope. Everything was falling into place, baby. Everything looked perfect from the outside. 3 weeks before the wedding, David started acting strange. Distant, distracted, always on his phone, always stepping out of the room to take calls. Michelle thought maybe it was just wedding stress. Lord knows planning a wedding will do that to a person. Lord, was she wrong? One evening she came home from a double shift, exhausted, still in her scrubs, feet aching from 12 hours on her feet, and David called her, not to talk about flowers or seating charts. He called to tell her it was over. He said he'd been seeing someone else, a woman named Vanessa, for almost a year, and that he was going to marry her instead, just like that. No warning, no real explanation, no apology that meant anything. 3 weeks before what was supposed to be the happiest day of Michelle's life. Michelle called me crying that night, and baby, I drove to her apartment so fast, I don't even remember the drive. I just remember running up those stairs with my heart pounding. She sat there in her scrubs, still holding her phone, just repeating, "I don't understand, Mom. I don't understand." And I held her for a long time, letting her cry it all out, because sometimes that's all a mother can do. And I told her something my mother told me a long time ago. A man who truly loves you doesn't leave you 3 weeks before your wedding. He shows you exactly who he is. You just have to believe him the first time. Turns out David and Vanessa had been sneaking around for months, right under all our noses. Hotel meetups, late night texts, the whole ugly truth piece by piece. And 2 months later they got married in a small courthouse ceremony. No big celebration, no fairy tale, just a quiet, guilty little wedding. Now here's where it gets good. Michelle didn't fall apart. She didn't beg him to come back, and Lord knows I was proud of her for that. She cancelled the venue, returned the dress, and went right back to work the very next week. Didn't even take a sick day. Said her patients needed her more than she needed to sit home and cry over a man who didn't deserve her tears. That's the kind of strength this girl has always had, even when she was little. A year later, karma came knocking, the way it always does. David lost his job after Vanessa was caught forging company expense reports. Turns out that wasn't the first time she'd lied to get what she wanted. He reached out to Michelle more than once after that, begging for forgiveness, saying he made a mistake. Michelle never answered a single call, not one. And 2 years later, Michelle met a wonderful man named Marcus at her cousin's barbecue. Kind, steady, respectful, the complete opposite of David in every single way. They got married in a small, beautiful ceremony surrounded by family who truly loved her. No interruptions, no secrets. Just real love this time, the kind that doesn't need to hide. Sometimes, baby, the worst goodbye is God's way of making room for the right hello. Now I always tell my grandbabies, betrayal reveals character, but how you respond reveals your character. Michelle could have fallen apart. She could have begged him to stay. She could have let bitterness eat her alive. But she didn't. She walked away with grace, and she rebuilt her life on her own terms. And grace, honey, is the loudest revenge there is. If this story touched your heart, or if you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, drop a comment below and tell Auntie Rose your story. I read every single one of them every single day. And who knows, your story might be featured right here on this channel next. And if you want more real stories of betrayal, heartbreak, and the sweet, sweet justice that always finds its way back around, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss one.